All right, we're live, Marie. Hello, everybody. Hello, Marie. Hello, Jazzy. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, hi, Elisa. Hello, everyone. Jasper says big hellos. Yeah, we're doing great, Elisa. It's really hot here, so it's just beautiful beach weather. So we're sort of going into the opposite of most of you guys. So yeah, that's been great. But and what about you? How are you going in your world of transition?
I am transitioning, moving on Monday, and hoping that everything works out. I put my intention. I already told the universe and the simulation exactly what it is I want to the way I want it to happen. So I'm expecting for that to be the case. And and Marie, the what really has transpired is that, and I know I've mentioned this before, and that is that I am immersing myself more into the spiritual part of my life. And what I'm noticing is that whenever we spend time looking at, Telegram and looking at the news and looking at these channels of these patriots that are giving us truth or the truther, movement, we're tying ourselves to the 3D matrix. So it doesn't matter if you're listening to the mainstream media news or the truther news. Either way, you're tying yourself to the 3D matrix.
Mm-hmm.
It brings you into the 3D. And we really, really, really need to step away from that, or at least I feel that I have to, because it has become repetitive. It has become just, what's the word? It's like,
Same,
just
just
same,
it's like Groundhog Day.
repetition, moving, yeah, absolutely. So I feel that I don't want to be tied to the 3D. And that's why I've decided I'm no longer going to look at that stuff. And so what happens is, because of the show that we have, that I do have to go back and tie myself to the 3D twice a week, right? For Tuesdays and Fridays. And so what I want to do is I want to ask our audience, our amazing people that come to see us every show, to put their questions. Guys, let's try to bring in other topics. Let's try to bring in other things that that we want to know about, and maybe we can start having really amazing stuff. So let's just get out of this loop. Let's stop connecting ourselves and tying ourselves to the 3D, which is not what we want, right? We want 5D, guys. So let's bring topics that have to do with 5D, right?
Yeah.
So then we are tying ourselves to the 5D. So just try to act, or ask your universe, ask your guides to bring you other topics that would be interesting. See what shows up on your feed and see what comes up.
Definitely. I agree. And, I feel when you're feeling good in yourself and you've got, I feel like it's a little bubble. It's like you don't need that stuff. You know the basics, you know what's going on. You're awake and aware to what you need to be awake and aware to. Obviously, if something amazing happened or a big change or something, of course, you can look at that and then see how is that going to help me to keep expanding and to keep being more of what I am. And But it is. It's really nice to actually look at things otherwise that are a little bit different, a little bit, ethereal, a little bit, spiritual.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. And it felt really good for the last couple of days to not look at Telegram.
Yeah.
And just kind of just be in this other world of meditation and automatic writing, and really sitting down and connecting, and how can I help humanity, and just doing something completely different than spending time looking at Telegram. with the constant, the cat, of course, has to create chaos here.
Wouldn't be the same
Um,
without beautiful Indy.
yeah. So, it it has been really peaceful without this like
Yeah.
side thing on the side, like just like that constant meh.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
I don't know.
I agree, Elisa, because it was just yesterday I was going, hang on a minute. I mean, what was life like before all this started, like 2 years ago, whatever it was, 2.5 years ago now, something. I mean, God, it wasn't even there. Like, I already had a lot of awareness about stuff going on, but it's almost like you sort of pushed it to the background and you just did what you did, whereas this has sort of brought everything to the foreground. And now I feel it's like, oh, it's time just to have, like you said, that peace.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things we can do to actually change our brain up. So I don't know, Elisa, if you've ever tried your right hand, your dominant hand is right-handed, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this is something I did. I did it for over about 2 years, and it was probably about 20 years ago I did this. And I used to start doing it as much as I could with my left hand because I'm dominant right. The change in my brain was incredible. I'd peg out all my clothes. I'd clean my teeth. I'd even started writing left-handed, so I was doing ambidextrous writing. But how it changed how I thought was incredible. And then I happened to read a book on it, and it talked about the left and right side of the brain, how males apparently actually have got a slightly bigger gap between the left and right, and that's why they can be so super focused and so have such good spatial skills, like for being able to judge distances and all of that. Females are much closer together, which is often why they can multitask and drop in and out of right to left side. But it's something we could all do. It's just a little challenge to actually start contemplating using your non-dominant hand to do things that you'd normally do all the time with your dominant hand.
Yes.
So that's the sort of thing I mean. It's like we could change up our focus and look at ourselves and start working with our own aspects.
Yes, that sounds like a great idea. I know you had mentioned that.
Yeah.
I started brushing my teeth with the left and it was so awkward. I like the
I
next
know.
day I forgot all about it.
That's it. But what it does is it brings up, I guess, you feel you just start judging yourself and all. It's actually great because it brings up emotions that have been hidden in the subconscious. And so you can release those and then start to tap in to the more positive aspects of that. So,
Yeah.
but when you can start writing with your left hand, it's almost like a channeling I found. And I'd look back and read over what I'd been putting in my diary. And I go, how did I know that? And I couldn't even understand what I'd written at the time. It wasn't until a little bit later I went back and went, wow. And I knew it was coming through from my wisdom. So I don't know, there's a little challenge for everyone for December maybe. Start breaking up your
Love
brain.
it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I do have some questions that I took obviously from Telegram, but so Space Cadet Lottie has a great question that we can start with, which has nothing to do with what's going on, which is how can we help Gaia in her ascension?
I like that
So
question.
let's see what the cards can tell us about this.
Okay, and Jazzy said he wants to jump in. So we'll do the cards first, and then we're going to...
Oh, good, Jazzy.
Yeah, actually,
I love it.
The cards are not coming up, so I'm going to just pull up Jazzy first. He's saying that Gaia actually helps us with our ascension is what I'm getting, and he's showing how the energetic grid lines of Gaia, we are templated into that. So that actually helps us to upgrade as well. So she is its own entity and has its own soul essence. So really what we can do is help ourselves to stay clear. So we can also bring through higher consciousness through our crown chakra into our energy field. So keeping our own energy field clear, Space Cadet, is really a good way to do it. And we know how to do that. Remember our white lighting, using our violet flame, making sure we're connected, releasing pain from our heart. All of those things help us to hold a higher conscious or a stronger, more expanded consciousness. So that helps Gaia in itself, because then the grid lines can flow more easily, I suppose. So, but she's a really powerful soul. So she's a beautiful entity that has her own soul. I suppose it's a soul contract as well. So if we keep ourselves upgraded, clear, it's going to help her. as it is going to help everyone around us.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very,
So what do
very
you
true.
think, Elisa? Have you got any ideas on that?
Yeah, no, what I got when I did the mushroom was, how
Yep.
do I help others? And the question was, help yourself first.
Yep.
So that's what it comes back to. You want to help Gaia ascend, help yourself ascend, because then you help her ascend. So
Right.
it always always comes back to you, because you are the reflector, you are the projector of Gaia in this space. So because you are the projector, if you heal you and you help you, then the projector will heal and project a higher consciousness. So,
That's it.
yep.
That's it.
Yep.
And, we don't know, just by walking down the street sometimes, just our energy can just touch others and help. It's almost like, we're all connected with these beautiful interconnections of spider webs. And so, you don't even know how you're helping people just by being here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The next question from Carolyn. I read a book about the elementals and how they're depending on us for survival. It was like, without us waking up and loving them, they would vanish almost because we create them. Interesting. Do I resonate with that? I read a book about the elementals and how they're depending on us for survival. That doesn't resonate with me. I don't know, Maree. Do you want to see what the cards tell us?
Yeah, for sure. So I do know that elementals were very much abused a long time ago, and they were very reticent to actually keep working with us. But I feel there's been a shift and a change. So they have, to me, how I understand it, is they have their own realm. They're interdimensional. They work through our beautiful nature or elements, obviously. But of course, they'll always be there. It just depends, again, on our consciousness and where we're at. Like with water elements, for example, I love the undine, which is the water element. And I remember once I was standing in my lunch break overlooking the ocean, and it was sparkling and it was beautiful. And I was just sending love and light to these undines. The next minute, I saw this flash coming across the ocean. It ran up my arm and it went into me. And I knew it was an undine. I knew. And because I had so much love for them. So again, the more we put our focus, attention, love, and consciousness onto anything, the more we create it. So in some ways, that statement could be said to be correct. They still have their own realm, though, where they would survive without us. But that's us cards as well. But that's I've had lots of experiences like that with elemental beings.
Yep.
So beautiful. Look at this. Our nine of Pentacles has come up. Now we know this is the most beautiful, unique, abundant being that brings through many blessings. So what we've been talking about, to me, it says, yes, that's absolutely right. We can actually work with them and we can interact with them. So keep that in mind. So when you have a glass of water, just go, oh, love and gratitude to this water. It raises frequency, and then say thank you to the undines of the water. Strength. Look at that. Just what we were talking about again. So the more we focus, the more we have that love consciousness, the more it actually grows the strength of the interaction and relationship between us. The Hanged Man. So when this comes up, this is about going inside for your answers. And to me, I just got the message with this card as well. Allow them to come in and speak to us. Okay, so give them space to come in. So what is the undine saying to you, or what is, the sun or the fire spirit saying to you? So let them communicate with you as well. So that's what the cards are saying.
Okay, very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. The next question is, I lost it. Okay, here we go. Can I ask Jesper how to capture my blue fairy's heart here in this realm?
Okay, so
Can
Dennis, we're just going
to how to capture.
So first thing we're going to do, Dennis, is heart in this realm. I'm going to get Jasper to tune in to what the energy is that you're actually asking about. So I'm just going to tune in with Jasper here. Okay. He's showing me that it's actually it's an aspect of love. Now, it's an energy that goes with that. It's a consciousness that goes with that. And it's almost like we can only see and feel what's within us. So he's sort of showing me it's like a reflection. So whatever you're feeling or picking up or understanding about your blue fairy's heart, that's also an aspect within you. So the more you tune into you, instead of seeing it outside of yourself, the more that you'll actually be able to, what's the word? Understand it, feel it, and know it differently. So tune into that aspect of you is what Jasper's showing me. It was like a mirror he was showing me with this love consciousness. I don't know if that helps, Dennis, but that's just what I was getting from Jasper. So, because sometimes if things may not be as tangible
Okay.
in the physical reality.
I might have to go. My computer's acting up. I might have to go on my phone.
Okay. Do you want me to do a reading while you're doing that?
You can hear me though, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're still fine. I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. As long as you can hear.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Once if you go out, what I'll do is I'll get everyone
we might need to ask this.
So why can't...
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you want me to read it?
Let's see. Yes, go ahead while I log into my phone.
Okay. So Maple Tree has asked, why can't the Anunnaki stop their manipulation of this collective? So let's find out first of all, Maple Tree, if there still is a manipulation of this collective actively going on. It's probably always good, as we know now, to go back to basics. So let's just check to see and tune in and see if that's actually still happening. Oh, that one's really hot. Okay. This is really interesting. So the first card that's come up is our Six of Cups. Now, to me, when Six of Cups comes up, it's actually offering a gift with it, and it makes us feel a certain way. It gives us some hope. There's always a collective in the background. So there's a village or whatever in the background, or where the information's come from or where the gift has come from. So maybe what they've done is actually give us something that maybe it wasn't as bad as what we thought. Okay, so there's been a lot of grief around this. A lot of people, the Five of Cups is saying to me there's been grief, but look at the two cups still standing in the background, and the five means change. So Seven of Cups, so there has been some chaos around this whole aspect of, I guess it's the understanding and the perspective of the manipulation. So maybe it wasn't quite as bad as what we thought. Four of Pentacles, there was a foundation that was built from whatever happened. Also, too, always remember, the more expanded, the higher our consciousness is, the less we are actually affected by the collective. It's interesting. I know when I'm getting... Oops. Right, I'll just wait. We've got two Elises. How lucky. You look like you've got a twin there.
Okay, awesome. Let me get out of here. Oh, no, it's working now. Okay.
Yep. You're working. You're fine. So just for example, I think it was only just last week, I had this feeling, and it was really weird, and I was kind of, oh, this is interesting. And I was talking to a friend, and she said, oh, I feel like you've actually tapped into the collective. So, and as soon as I cleared and just went into my own bubble and my own space, I felt a huge difference. So sometimes it's us as well tapping in. It depends how tapped into the collective we are, because of course it affects us. So just being aware of that might help Maple Tree. So I feel that it's up to us what affects us as well at that level. Okay.
So
Lisa, you're back. Okay? Yay, you're back.
You can hear me?
Yes, can hear you, can see you. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so thank you so much for reading that question and answering them. I'm not sure what's going on with my laptop. Yeah. All right. So let me see what else we got. So Maple Tree's asking, can the elementals be angels?
Okay, that's a good question. Elisa, do you have anything around this one?
Um, Only that I feel angel elementals have to do with the earth, and I
Yeah,
feel angels are more related to a different higher dimension.
yeah,
So I don't know if there's
yeah.
a connection there.
No, that's actually how I feel about it too. So the elementals are attached usually through nature, so usually through water, air, fire, and earth, and also I guess we call some fairies elementals as well. So yeah, whereas at the angelic realm, I feel is a different realm. It's a different consciousness and frequency. So I mean, everyone, it's okay to have your own perspective on this, and it's okay to have your own understanding on it. So, but I'll ask the cards and just see um, if the elementals can be angels. Okay, Four of Cups has come up. So this is something that's being offered that not really looked at in a way that's like, yeah, it's like a bit, no. I sort of feel like it's no. So Eight of Cups, walking away from a situation. So to me, that would be a no. They're what we would consider a different realm. And because we're human, we have to label everything, right? We have to give everything a name. So it's really just a difference in consciousness. And then we've got a judgment card. So it's exactly what I was just saying. Like we always have to name something and bring it up to be named and seen for what it is. So, and look, there's an angel right at the top there. So I feel that there's a difference in consciousness with them. So, and it's interesting because I also feel that there's a difference in layered frequency with it. So I always go through my highest self to ask for the highest frequency and consciousness of the realm that I'm connecting with to come through. So that just might be something else that's worthwhile thinking about, knowing, doing. So
Okay.
yeah,
All
a good question.
right. Okay. Very cool. So, okay. The next question
Hmm.
is there a way we can help protect the Fae from the EMF and radiation on our properties and land?
Wow, that's a great question. Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because people have said before, like even if you're mowing the lawn, do we damage, like the beautiful fairy folk that may be living in our properties? Um, so I don't know. I feel when I'm consciously protecting myself from that, expand it. Just expand that intention around your land and around the property. They've also got a very high frequency, so they would know probably what to do.
Well,
So
the question is
again, yeah, Lisa.
we should
Mm,
I think we should ask the cards if the Fae even get affected by EMF
yeah,
because they're in a different realm. So it might not even affect them.
that's what I was sort of feeling. Absolutely, the judgment cards come up again. So yeah, what we're talking, it's like um, they it's not going to hurt them because the judgment's there. It's like it's us thinking that because we live in our realm thinking they do as well. And again, we live in our realm. It's that Nine of Wands. This is like, it's been tough, it's been difficult, we've been affected, but we're still standing strong. But I don't, yeah, I agree with you. I feel they've got the ability that they live in a different realm. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, they're fine.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So their reality is actually they can do whatever they want. And see, it's really interesting. This is standing out. If you can see that, the little doorway in the hedge, they can just pop back into their realm, or yeah, do whatever they need to stay safe. But you can always send them love, Space Cadet. You can always send them love and you know, and connect in with them. So, and ask them. Go in and ask them. Talk with them.
That sounds like a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All
So
right. Let's see. Is there an entrance to inner earth near me? Carolyn is asking. I got
ah.
directed to a national park near me, but haven't been yet.
Okay. Hi, Carolyn. I think you were saying, I noticed you're saying it's first time you've got on live because you're not up in Norway or somewhere. So welcome.
That
Yeah. So let me have a look. And it's interesting, if I get an urge to go somewhere that's sort of near a national park or near a forest, I do tend to scan and have my little radar out for vortexes that are might come through, or if I get drawn to a certain set of rocks or a space. So that's what I do. So you might want to do the same thing, is just put out your little radar and your senses and use your intuition to see where you get guided to. So let's ask, and you'll notice the difference when there is a vortex or a little, what have you called it? You've called an entrance to an inner earth. To me, it can always be into another dimension. It doesn't necessarily have to be inner earth per se. So just know that as well. Your Wheel of Fortune. So to me, this means it's something that will change with the seasons. So if you go and you have that intention, then you will get taken to where you need to be taken to explore. Six of Pentacles, you're going to be offered something. It's always going to be balanced though. See our beautiful scales in the background. So whatever you're given, it won't be overwhelming. It won't be too much. Just have some faith in yourself, Caroline, that you actually can do this. The Star, look at that. Tune into your higher self. And remember, we've got these gifts. This is our gift. We're on Earth. We can tune into all the energy. We can tune into the vortexes, ask the elementals in the area to help you. And then King of Wands. I love this card. To me, it's an action card, but it's a master card of action. So you'll be drawn to move where you need to move through your intuition, and you'll be guided. So have fun with that. Get out to that national park when you get home. Or if it's right here where you're staying.
Yeah, definitely. I feel over that for sure.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's amazing. And even just standing, what I do is I'll often stand, close my eyes, tune into my heart, take a big breath, connect into the earth, and I'll allow the grid lines to take me where I need to go to actually see and feel the vortex. And then you can see if it's an uplifting vortex, and you can actually see and feel elemental beings coming up through it. Sometimes they're clearing vortexes and it feels like it's a bit more of a void. So go in and explore.
Definitely. Okay, let's see. This is a great question from Dennis. How can we show people more? So I think he's talking about what we know, right?
Yeah.
Without stepping on their free will.
Yeah.
So how can we?
Do you want to start this one, Elisa?
Huh?
Do you want to start this one?
So, how can we show people without stepping on their free will?
Yeah.
So the messages I always receive spiritually whenever I wanted to give people information was that it wasn't our job to wake people up, that it was our job to be the example, to lead by example. So the best way, in my opinion, to not step on their free will is by being the example.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. So by living our free will, we're giving them permission to live their free will. So, I mean, at first we were all like, oh my God, I can't believe how many people maybe don't see what's going on. Then you get to a point and you go, but it's their right to experience their journey this way. This is exactly what they've chosen to do. And if people ask, then I will say, okay, well, how much would you like to know? Where would you like to start? So often waiting for them to ask is a great way to then know how to converse with them, ask them what they know, get where they're at. The other thing is exactly as Elisa said, when we had to wear these things, and I just didn't. And it was amazing how many people looked at you, and it's amazing when you gave them permission how many people took theirs off. And it was so wonderful when you had other people that weren't doing it, and you just smile at each other because you're holding a beautiful space. You're allowing people to actually make their own choices. So you are giving people permission to do what they want to do. And if they don't really want to do this or whatever, then they'll go, oh, okay, I feel braver now because someone else isn't doing it. That gives me permission. So spot on. It is about living your truth and having enough courage.
He's saying I do that, but they don't see. And the thing is, it's not our job to get them to see.
No.
Some
people might glare at you. They might judge you.
I'm sure Dennis has heard this before, right? Which is everything in divine timing.
Yeah.
right? So that's when I would have to say everything in divine timing. You have to allow them to uh, do it in their own time, just like we did, because when I look at when I woke up, it was all done by my guides.
Yeah.
It was all done by my guides. So it's almost like we're not here to be the waker uppers or you know we're here again to just be the example for people to follow.
Yeah. And Dennis, you don't know, okay, because the death card came up, which is slow transformation. You don't know by you doing exactly what is right for you. Someone might go home after seeing you and go, isn't that interesting? I wonder why he wasn't doing this. And then they might suddenly, something else might come up and they go, they're not either, but aren't they afraid? So what we're doing is actually they have to ask their own questions. It's cognitive, breaking down that cognitive dissonance through their own questions, and that's what this is. So sometimes it can be a slow process, but as Elisa said, it's always divinely timed. So have faith that what you're doing is perfect. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. um and he says, I did that a couple of days ago. I started to dance in the store and got all the people laughing. It felt so good. And that's also, showing that that we're here to have joy, to experience joy, that we're here to experience freedom, right? If we don't wear a mask, and we're supposed to wear a mask, but we
Yeah,
don't, that's showing people, hey, I'm here to experience freedom and to have a voice. So it's always, you make a difference, even though you might not feel like you do.
absolutely. And, just even little interactions with people, like I was out getting a coffee or something the other day, and these gorgeous kids, one was playing with snakes and ladders, a real proper little snakes and ladders board, and another kid was drawing. They were young and they were gorgeous. And I just looked at them and went, oh, snakes and ladders, that's my favorite game when I was a kid. And he was going, yeah, like this. And I said to the parents, I said, that's amazing. It's so nice to see children doing things that are tangible, physical, real. And they said, yeah, it can be pretty hard sometimes. I said, yeah, but look at that. You're inspiring other parents maybe to do the same. So that's exactly what it is. So Dennis, you're dancing in that shop. Keep it going. Like, you give people that choice to be playful and joyful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So keep
Strength.
doing
Look at
it.
that. Strength card came up, Dennis. So you just keep doing it, honey. You've got this.
Yes, more of us need to be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go out of your comfort zone. And I remember at one stage in my life, I got really, really, I was just getting bored. I was going, oh, so I made up this thing called, it was like my little wish bucket. And I'd write down all these things, and then I'd pick one every day, and it was something different, and I had to go and do it that day. So whether it was go and talk to a stranger who has a dog, or go and give someone a flower that you don't know, and it was just made my day so much more enjoyable, and so much more serendipity happens when we have that intention to do that.
Yeah.
So maybe everyone needs to go, I'm going to find a place where I can dance in public and get people dancing.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So now is a good time for people to start putting their 888 on the comments so that we can do the reading, the general reading. So if you're watching us live, go ahead and put 888 on the comments, and I will take a look and see. And let me know. I'm going to look for my questions on my phone. I don't know what's going to happen if you can see me still or not. So let me know.
Yeah, I can't see you, but that's okay. We'll get. I'll let you pick one. So I can't hear you either, but that's all right. Otherwise, if you don't pick one in the next 10 seconds, I'll pick one, and then we'll just start. She's back.
Okay. So Dennis
I
cracks me
know. So, don't you making me snort again, Dennis?
So I'm gonna pick Barbara Hack.
Okay, Barbara. All right. So Barbara, I'm just going to tune in through my higher self to Barbara's higher self. Okay. and then I'm just going to pull some cards and we'll just see what comes up for you. Oh, that one really wants to come out. This Judgment card is coming out big time today. So, Barbara, I'm getting a sense that you have been looking at something from all angles, or sort of like from different perspectives, to see maybe what to do or how you want to approach something. So the Hierophant. So it's almost like feeling like you are taking back control over a situation that you haven't seen it from this angle before. Okay, Six of Pentacles. Yeah, again, when this Six of Pentacles comes through, it's like you're being offered something that is going to be quite balanced. So, and you seeing it from all angles is actually going to be really helpful. So just keep doing that, because you've got the King of Pentacles here now. You're master of your own reality. You're master of your own creation. King of Pentacles goes with the flow and yet knows the best probability that will come from everything. So know that you are a master creator. That's it. And the Ace of Cups. So whatever you come up with, whatever you end up deciding to do or tackling a situation, you're going to have a really good outcome emotionally, because that Ace of Cups tells me that, there's things that you don't even know I'm feeling that are going to come from this view on an emotional level. And I feel you're going to really help yourself to heal or change something within you. So be really proud of yourself, but just look at everything from different angles and you'll know which way to go. So so there you go, Barbara. That's what came through for you. I hope that's helpful.
Thank you so much, Maree.
You're welcome.
All right, very cool. So the next question we have from Maple Tree is, were there civilizations on Saturn?
Wow. Okay, let's just ask the cards and just see.
Yeah, that's a great question. I wonder if we are, if there ever were, civilizations there.
Yeah, of course. Well, we've got our Six of Wands, which to me is a victory. So, and just remember, not always, like, we're on the surface here on Earth, but remember there's many other aspects as well to places that beings can live. So the sun, so it looked like there was something that was quite prominent and quite rich, like quite a beautiful environment. Six of Swords. So to me, something's happened and they've actually moved to a different place, because this is going from one place to a better place. So whether something actually happened for them to move, but the King of Wands has come up. So it didn't feel like there was anything too drastic. It was just a change in action call that was for their betterment for some reason. So it looks like there were. It's really interesting because I've done meditations before and been taken to other planets or places, and I'm sitting there and there's no one around. It's like and then I get told, no, it's all underneath, or it's all in a different realm and you're not to visit there yet. So I've actually been shown that through doing like traveling.
Oh, wow.
So so they can be very much in different dimensions within a whole space.
Wow. Wow, that's very cool.
So
okay. Okay. Maple Tree has more questions.
You're being a pseudo dentist today, Maple Tree. I love it.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So what are the Elohims?
I mean, I don't know. My understanding is that the Elohim are like an angelic realm. Is that what? Do you know anything about them, Elisa?
No, I don't. And I always get them confused with the giants. I don't know. It's like,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
is it I never know if it's the giants or the angels.
Yeah, the Elohim. Well, it's interesting because the Tower card came up. So I wonder if the Elohim have changed from one dimension into another. Wheel of Fortune. So it was just like a thing that was going to happen. There was something that's happened that's taken them into a different dimension, different frequency. But there's the 10 of Cups. So whatever it is, it's actually brought about something that's quite
Okay,
positive.
so the Nephilim are the giants, and the Elohim are the angels.
That's okay. So that makes sense now, because there's that 10 of Cups is a beautiful place to be situated in. It's a big family. It's quite positive. So that's what I was getting as well. They're quite a high frequency and vibration, the LOM.
Okay.
So that's what I'm getting from the cards, and yeah, from what we're discussing. But Maple Tree, if you've got like any more understanding about it, put it in there as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where it's great if
I
people
want
have
to
heard
remember
something.
that. Nephilim, giants, Elohim, angels.
I know, I know. There's so much sort of mystery, isn't there, around what really has happened, you know,
Yeah.
from those times.
Okay. Another question about Atlantis. So he's heard a lot of Atlanteans are incarnated here at this time. I have memories of activating things with a touch. And he's wondering if he lived during the Atlantis times. I gotta turn with
Yeah,
the cat. The cat is so
I love it. Yeah,
he's
you're
falling.
dropping out a tiny bit there, Elisa. So but I think the question got asked so we could hear it, which is fine. Yeah, look, Trigel, I also have heard that we have had like times with it in Atlantis, and a lot of us in this lifetime. And I know I've had a lot of experiences with my meditations, being shown that, and being shown almost in one meditation this beautiful crystalline city, and then the pavement met what we call bitumen, which you call your roads, you know, the tar roads. I went, what's this about? And it's almost like merging, that energy now is merging into our realm, that Atlantean frequency. So I would agree with that. And if you're even asking these questions, and there's obviously some memories or there's some templating within you, that does come from Atlantean times. And yeah, so I'll pull the cards and have a look. What do you think, Elisa? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's funny because I did an interview today that I put out with Antonio Sandro, one of my teachers from the hypnosis. And, you know, we explained there, and I've explained this before, that there aren't, there isn't such a thing as a past life. There are concurrent lives that are happening right now. So that life is happening now. So it's really cool um, to see how those memories are activating at this time for them while they're there doing that.
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think
And
that's
this is
pretty.
what, yeah, I agree with you. And that's why sometimes I'll call it a template, because it's how we're connected into what's going on. I know there's been many other lifetimes that I've gone in and at some level helped that aspect of me having that experience. And I know I've been helped from other aspects of me that maybe have a bigger picture understanding or different consciousness, more expanded consciousness. So I absolutely do agree. And that's where I felt when I was shown that the two were merging, that we have more access to our gifts and talents that have come from that Atlantean time. And that's why a lot of us are so intrigued with crystals and that type of healing or whatever activation. So, and the first card that came up was our Three of Pentacles. So this is a contract. So our soul would have gone, right, it's time for us to experience some of those abilities and some of those experiences now to have with us here in this realm, in our world. So that's what that is. That's an agreement to a contract or making up a plan. And then the Seven of Cups, because remember there was a lot of chaos. I don't know about you guys, but I remember having visions of like huge waves coming through, and there was quite a fear for me. This was probably 17 or 18 years ago. I had this, oh my God, I feel like we're going to be inundated with water. And I feel this was like maybe some memories or some fear coming up to be released from that time of what is the Atlantean. Then the Empress has come up. So the Empress is the most beautiful creator, brings through goodness, love. So all the positives from that lifetime or from that experience or template from Atlantis can come through. So I'm just going to ask for you specifically, Trigel, as well, if that's the case, if you are tapping into you are. The Hierophants come up. So this is someone that has authority, some power. So you may have had a position of power or authority over others. And so how you use that is up for you to find out. Okay. So, but yeah. So, and that's why I said we're often being brought into that awareness now and in this lifetime and experience from what's going on in other lifetimes. So go and explore that
Yeah.
one.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay. And I know, I'm sorry, Space Cadet Lottie, I forgot to ask this before. So she wanted to know if the winter solstice affects the earth energies, especially at sacred sites.
How fast! What a great question. And again, Elisa, feel free to jump in because you've been to so many beautiful sacred sites around the world, and
I wouldn't have an idea because yeah, I think this has to do with astrology.
yeah,
And
it does,
I
and
don't
yeah.
well versed with astrology, and for some reason I've never been a big believer of it. I wonder if astrology is part of the 3D matrix.
Well, they say that our recording of time has been changed. It's meant to be 13 months, 28 days a month to go in the cycle of nature, and that's been disrupted. So, yeah, who knows? I mean, I do feel that the planets can have an effect on our electromagnetic energy and things like that. But as for the Earth, well, I guess if we're looking at the winter solstice, we're looking at the shortest day of the year, aren't we? So, what impact would not have with the sun's rays, having the shortest amount of time, what impact would that have on the energetic grid lines? And if you're looking at sacred sites, we're usually looking where there's massive vortexes, where there's, doorway openings. So I'm going to ask cards. Let's just see if we can actually get, yes, this does impact them. Doesn't have to be in a negative way. Obviously, everything's got to be kept in balance. And so this is why we have a shortest day of the year, longest day of the year, all of those things. Yeah, the Magician, look at that. So yeah, bringing heaven to earth, having all the tools to create things. Sometimes can be smoke and mirrors. So it can be our perception of what's going on as well. The Tower. So there can be some maybe big changes energetically that go on at this time. Doesn't have to be nefarious. The Tower can just be really positive changes as well, remember, because there's our celebration cup. Three of Cups, our celebration card. So it's saying that it's necessary. If there are changes, then it's necessary to keep things in balance.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good question. And those sacred sites, they're not called sacred sites for nothing. There's usually massive, massive energetic vortexes and things going on there.
Okay. Well, I know that has a lot to do with the lines, the ley lines.
Absolutely. Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let me see. The one of the questions that I had written down, and again, they were for the current events. They weren't really for this.
Okay.
That's that we have going on right now. But
yeah.
Do crystal skulls have a different energy than, let's say, a regular crystal? So, do you know what I'm saying?
Shall we ask the expert?
Yes.
All right. So Jasper, our beautiful crystal skull expert. Okay. I'm just going to tune in and just ask if that's truth, if that's relevant. So what I'm getting from him is it's the intention with how the skull's made, because when they're made with intention as well. And he's saying that they've already created, the beings from this skull have already created themselves in this physicality. It's like we co-create our own world. So if they've put thoughts and ideas and how they want to be manifested and created. And by whom I'm even getting, gosh, I'm getting really hot when he's telling me all this. So someone would actually be activated into creating a particular crystal skull. and what crystal they're actually made from, because different crystals have different properties, as we know. And so like with jasper, he's what we call a rutilated quartz, because and I think it's jasper. I didn't know this, and I didn't know this when he gave me his name. So the jasper within this clear quartz apparently gives a better connection to the deep cosmos. So deep into the cosmos is why jasper wanted to come through as this particular crystal skull. So yeah, so definitely there is a difference with the intention, and they've created themselves, like we've co-created our own physical being to be our avatar. Of course, he's going, of course. So I don't know, it makes sense to me. I hope that I described that enough to make sense to you guys.
Okay, so what about those crystal skulls that are mass produced, like, you know, those
Yeah.
little ones that you see all over the place? I mean, are those going to have any real beings in them?
And it's so funny, before you even said that, he was just showing me that. He was showing me the mass-produced crystal skulls. They're still made with an intention, no matter what, and they still have that frequency and of the crystal within it, and the form of it, to be able to hold a certain, what's the word you're going to use with me, Jasper, here? Abilities is what he's saying. So yeah, they do, even though they're mass-produced.
Wow.
Yeah. He's being smart now. He's going, I'm lucky. I just got handmade. Oh, he's so cute. So no, they do. They do. And it's so funny because he was showing me that before just as you were about to ask that question. So there you go. That's the connection we all have, guys. We're so interconnected.
Yes, we are. We are.
Mm-hmm.
So Dennis was asking if the crystal skulls have emerald tablets, each have an emerald tablet or emerald tablet information in there.
Okay, let's just tune in. I'll ask Jazzy again. He's showing me that they can download whatever it is that they need, and again, like us, he's showing that they're interconnected with each other, with other skulls. And I know this is truth because before I got Jasper, I've got my beautiful Clara. Let me just, she's over there. I don't know if you can see her on the table over there. She's in the middle of I took her with me to a skull meditation weekend with Alexis, this amazing being. And all these crystal skulls were there because everyone brought their crystal skulls with them. And I was holding her and she got so hot I couldn't even hold her. So I had to put her down. We had a break for about 20 minutes. I came back. She was still boiling hot. She'd been sitting next to this crystal skull that looked like it was actually those alien ones with the big head. And that one was hot as well. So they'd been transferring information and having a chat, and it was crazy. It was like all these skulls just came to life and started communicating with each other. And they can actually what's the word? They can share information between themselves. I honestly could not hold her. She was so hot. So yeah, they actually can get what they need, Dennis. And the emerald tablets, I feel that they would just get what they need. It wouldn't specifically have to be emerald tablets. That's what Jasper was trying to show me. They get what they need. It's not necessarily the emerald tablets information.
Right. Yeah. Dennis is so funny. Jasper has a girlfriend.
Jasper's, I'll find out. Oh my gosh. He's saying, I've got many. Because he showed me the interconnection between all of them, like on that telepathic level. So he's got many. Dennis. Now, what was that movie he's reminding me of? Was it not Lucy? There was one where they were walking along with like everyone had their iPhones floating in front of them, and it was a real consciousness in it. And so this guy had this iPhone that had this consciousness in it as his girlfriend. But anyway, of course, she never slept. So she went off meeting everyone. And she said to him, I hope you know I've made lots of friends. And he said, oh, have you got other boyfriends? And she went, yeah, I've got 2,763 at the moment. And then because of this interconnectedness, and then in the end, they ended up leaving planet because they were so highly conscious and evolved through this interconnection with each other. So that movie, he just popped into my mind.
Well, I'm sure that's for a reason.
Yeah.
So, Shanna has a question. So when any crystals get hot, is it that their consciousness is communicating? So what could that mean when crystal gets hot? The crystals get hot.
Yeah, they're being activated, definitely. Sometimes Jasper actually is often more activated when he's very cold as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean that's the only way to activate. But that particular time when there had to be at least 50 crystal skulls in this room, definitely there was an activation. And yeah, it would have been their consciousness, like that beautiful network of fibers that is energetic. Like they've got their own energetic body and being as well. This is just their avatar. This is Jassie's avatar. So like us. And like, don't we get hot when, like, when we bring stuff through, energy through, or we're with someone that we know we're connecting with, you suddenly can start getting hot, right?
Yes. Yeah. Big
So
time.
so if you put everything back into us, we're all having an experience where, spiritual beings having a physical experience. So yeah, we're definitely activating our consciousness, our energetic fields, our electromagnetic aspect of us. And that's deep within ourselves. So we have a physical reaction, same
Yeah.
as them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Great question.
Very cool. Very cool. So I have a question that I was going to ask at the beginning before we get into something that is not current events. Um, so it has to do with becoming a state national. So there's this thing going on between that you become a state national means that you are a national of the state, and um, you so somebody said that this process had been started on purpose by somebody who is part of the deep state to make people think that they're disconnecting from the deep state, but in turn it's making it even worse because these people now only belong to the state and not to the nation, by becoming state nationals, and then they don't have to pay taxes. So I want to know if the
Mm,
process of becoming a state national is a con, is a scam.
okay. All right. So, okay. Yeah, I think so, because we've got our Three of Swords. And the other thing I was getting as well as you were talking is we really need to honor and own our own sovereignty, like our connection first and foremost to our higher self, to our God, to our Creator. That's where our first intention goes, and then getting drawn to do an act how we're meant to do an act. So yeah, so the stars come up as we're talking about that connection through integrity to our own higher self, to our own sovereign being. So yeah, it's something that's been offered, but it's not really anything that's going to get taken up. But I don't see it as being a great thing with that Three of Swords there.
Okay.
It just
So
doesn't
will
make
it
sense.
affect Okay, so will it affect people negatively? Like for example, will they in the future not be able to participate in something that's national because they're only part of the state, specific state, and not of the entire nation?
Yeah, I mean, but at some point, all of that's going to change, isn't it? So yeah, let's just have a look and see. I don't think it's going to make a difference because the Nine of Cups has come up, because what everyone really wants is just to have more freedom, right? Is to be able to live their own lives, make their own decisions and choices that are best for them. So I don't feel it's just almost like one of these things that people are doing to try and change, that feeling of being controlled. Once again, we've got to go back to our own empowerment. Yeah, the Tower.
Yes.
we change up our own world. That in time, I feel, will be something that's so null and void and so not even thought about.
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune, in time, as our seasons change with the changes that are going to be happening, that's going to be irrelevant. So we have to make our own changes internally to get what we want. More than that, I don't feel it's going to be affecting them It's going to, because there's going to be a whole different setup. It's going to be irrelevant almost. It's yeah.
Okay. All right. So they're just wasting money and time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but if it's because if it's making them feel good, if it's making them feel more positive, if it's making them feel, then go for it. And that's what I mean. It's everyone's choice to experience that. But I mean, I wouldn't personally do something like that. So, yeah. So it's more chaos. Seven of Wands has come up to me. This is the chaos card, and we don't need it. They don't need to do it, but if that's what they choose to experience, that's fine. So,
Okay.
yeah, but
all right.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for participating today. I greatly appreciate it. I can't wait to see what questions you bring to us next time. And thank you for being here. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
Definitely. Can I just say something? I've just noticed that Dee's asking a little bit of a question. Dee, I did pull a transference healing card, and I want you to just tune into this, honey, because the turtle is all about Gaia, which is connecting into Earth, but connecting into our own hearts and sending ourselves love and being very, very kind and gentle and nurturing to ourselves. So for you specifically, just stop and breathe, go into your heart, okay? Just say, I love myself. And even if it doesn't feel truthful, it doesn't matter. You just keep saying it and drop into your heart and ask for guidance from your higher self and from your angels. Okay, you're going to be fine. So, but that's for everyone to do and to remember. Okay, just connect in, love yourself, be gentle, nurture yourself.
Wonderful. A good way to end the show.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Again, thank you for being here. And we'll see you hopefully on Tuesday. We'll see, because I'll be moving, so I'm not sure. So
just see how you're going. Yep, sounds good. All right, see you, Lisa. Bye, everyone. Bye from Jazzy.
all right. Bye.